The past 10 weeks have been a whirlwind of activity that have truly enriched me. From the 5-year-old in Willow Grove who knew my name as I was knocking on the door, to the 92-year-old plumber, Lauren, who is the oldest known working plumber in the world who supports me and still runs his own business. It's been the experience of my life. It started with Augusto. The 2 key policy positions we took early on have come to symbolize my campaign's drive towards openness and fairness. We challenged the incumbents on their decisions and the specific decision with the rest of council to not release the preliminary budget update that had been scheduled for September. We felt that this was not in the spirit of openness. As a result of our protest, council finally agreed to release what it felt it could. It wasn't enough, but it was better than nothing. The second decision was to draw attention to the absence of a contract for the transit workers. These people have been without a contract and therefore without a cost of living increase for 4 years and had suffered an illegal lockout, all without taking job action. It doesn't matter what your political stripes are. This is simply unacceptable. I pledged, without any communication with the transit workers, to resolve this dispute as soon as I possibly could. Soon after, talks resumed between City Council and the union. I'm reminding you of these 2 episodes because they are symbolic of what can happen when people have been in positions for too long. They cease to see what's important. They cease to be innovative. They become preoccupied with holding on to power, and they get stuck in a rut because it's comfortable. This is not who is needed for the next term of leadership. We need inspiration, dreams, ideas, perspective of possibility. We need shared leadership and decisions. We need transparency and fairness, financial management and accountability, communication and vision. We need to step out of the rut. So, how do we do that? Our city is growing. Greater demand for services is a natural byproduct of that. My position is that we need to deliver better services, not fewer services. I want to help create and build a culture at City Hall that empowers and celebrates the frontline workers, that helps them do their work better, more efficiently, and with greater pride. I commit to better training, to creative freedom, to asking every member at City Hall to use their knowledge and skills to the maximum extent possible. I want to unleash the creative potential of our human resources and encourage participatory leadership within its ranks where ideas are nurtured and heard. But there is another level at City Hall that I will work with very closely. In order to build a strong, shared leadership team in City Council, we need to redraw the organizational chart at the top, flatten the structure, and create a more balanced and integrated management model. Right now, there is a small number of highly paid senior staff who surround the mayor's office and who are largely unknown to the public. They lead many of City Hall's strategic management decisions. They also receive performance bonuses and special pensions that are not publicized. And yet, their decisions are not accountable to the public. They have, in essence, been doing the mayor's job. I want to change that. A truly engaged council with portfolios and accountability for decisions that affect the public needs a talented team to operationalize council decisions, not the other way around. I want to close with my vision for the type of leader that Saskatoon now needs. Saskatoon is indeed at a junction point. It is poised to make the transition from a medium-sized city to a large urban city. It is becoming more global, attracting more citizens, capital, and ideas, not just from across Canada, but from around the world. It is increasingly a city of entrepreneurs and innovators. We need to set in motion the practices and decisions that welcome and embrace these changes in a way that supports our current and future generations, not detracts by creating unfunded debt, change should create a better city. The leadership that supports this and facilitates this transition from a traditional to a 21st century growth model must be able to think beyond the approaches of the past. We're not just talking about bricks and mortar. We're talking about creativity and imagining. We're talking about building a city in which people, their needs, their values, and their skills are front and center, where our resources are properly managed. A city that recognizes that these people demand and they deserve the best and most innovative, comprehensive service delivery. A city that truly listens and supports its citizens. We can create this type of city, but it requires us to break from the past. It requires that we shed ourselves of outdated, traditional approaches, where our potential alone determines the limits of our accomplishments. That's the kind of leadership that I want to bring to Saskatoon. Saskatoon, thank you so much for this experience. I ask that you join me in voting for the right kind of change, the change that is necessary to build a sustainable, community-inspired today and tomorrow. Thank you.